Hi, this is Max. Welcome to my blog Max World. You can visit my blog www.baijumax.blogspot.com. Today's screencast I'm going to give an overview of Matlab Neural Network Toolbox, and also I will be discussing how we can actually call a Matlab neural network in C# application. The idea behind creating such a screencast is that I'm getting a lot of mails from students and researchers. They are actually very good in designing a neural network and not able to deploy their neural network as a standalone, and or that can be used in some integrated in some applications like C# or ASP.NET or VB. So I'm trying to address those issues today. And I will give an overview of Matlab neural network toolbox. So let's begin. So what are all the prerequisites for this particular screencast is that you should have Matlab 7.4.0 and Matlab neural network toolbox and deploy tool, Visual Studio 2005 or above. Now also you should have some knowledge about the neural network and MATLAB M code, syntax of MATLAB M code, also expected to have C# WinForm application familiarity to follow up with this particular screencast. So today in today's screencast I am going to create an XOR net, which is nothing but a neural network which gives me some output like this. Say for example I passed a 0 0, then the network should give me a 0, and if I pass 0 and 1, then it should give me a 1, and 1 0, again 1, and 1 1, it should give me a 0. So this is what I'm going to actually do today. There are two columns. These are the set of inputs, the X and Y, and the XOR, which is the third column, which is the output. So this is called the input, and the XOR is called a target. So this is what we actually want to achieve. So let's open first network data manager. So how do we do that? Just type and then tool in MATLAB. So we got a network data manager. This particular GUI helps to create a neural network very easily. So a very good user-friendly interface. Okay, this is our data. So we can create a new input data set. So this is our input data, which is nothing but this table itself. You can see there's a 2x4 matrix. You can see there's a 2x4 matrix, and also just a create button. So it is actually created. Now I'm going to create a target. So this is my target, which is nothing but this particular column, XOR column. So 0 1 1 0. So this is what I have did here. Let me create it. So just I created it. Now go back to this. You can view this by just double clicking it, so you can see that here. So this is my 2x4 matrix, that is my input. Now let's create a new network. So I'll just name as XOR underscore net. So you can see so the network I am going to select here is feed forward backdrop, and the input range will say maxima and minima of the input, which is nothing but 0 1. Okay, now the training function here I'm going to accept the default train LM, and the adaptive learning function learn GD, and performance function mean square root um, MSC, and number of layers 2. So I'm going to define here. So the first layer has got a 2 inputs, so number of neurons 2, and the transfer function here is statistic. And the second layer 2 has got 1 neuron, and again the transfer function is a tensig. Now let me create it. So it's actually created it. Okay, you can view the network by just double clicking on it. So you can see 2 inputs. So this is one weight, and this is bias, and this is the transfer function, and the second this is our first layer, and the output from the first layer goes to the input to the second layer. You can see the weights, and the transfer function here applies, and we got some one output. Now let me select my inputs. I'm going to train this network. So the training parameters 1000. Okay, train this network. So training completed. Now we have a trained network XOR underscore net. Now we want to simulate some results. So I'm trying the input itself, and the output goes to the XOR net outputs. Let's simulate this network. So it has been simulated, and result is stored in network data manager. Let's double click and open and see the values. So you can see the first two actually the input. Let me open this table. It should be a 0 value, and we got some value which is very close to 0, and the two values of 1, that's correct. We got a 2 here, and this is also close to 1. So I'm okay with this result, because I'm not worried about the precision of the particular network output. Somehow I'm happy with these two results, because which is very close to 0, and I got a 1 1, which is same as the target I want, or expected result, or desired result I want expect. So now I have a network here. Now I have a network here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to export all these, select all, and export to my workspace. So the variable has been exported to my workspace. Let me pull out the Matlab command line. So you can see here, okay, you can see here my network XOR net, and the errors, outputs, input, target, which are all created using network data manager. Let me simulate. So for simulating the network, use the sim function, which accepts first is our train network itself, and the second one the input parameters. So let me try using 1, 0, 1 semicolon 0. So the result is 1. So gain 0 0. So we got some value which is close to 0. Now I'm going to save this particular XOR net using a save as button. Now I'm going to save this as a math file. So I just created a sample XOR net, and the sample XOR net math file contains XOR net, XOR underscore net, which is our trained network, and this will be used in my Matlab M code to load a particular network and simulate it.